Warlock from Harman against the Rogue of mCon. And Harman already picked a really good matchup against mCon. As we say before, the Zuluk against Rogue, really good for Warlock, for the Zuluk at least. Because Arena Lock is not that great against Rogue.
Nope.
But they both have a really good hand. We see from Harman the possessed villager that are really sticky against Rogue. But you see the coin on mCon. Coin is so important on Rogue, so you can combo out that SI agent. But we also see the prep. We also see the Viscerate. We see the Tomb Pillager. All the cards you were actually looking for in your mulligan as a Rogue player.
Yeah, and also important that Shadow Strike. If that Councilman comes down, it can get Shadow Strike down immediately, and there is the first Conceal. Normally you play 1 or 2 Conceals. The most players, I believe, play 2 Conceals as of now. And well, may decide just to Jagger up and remove one of those possessed villagers. If he removes both and draws into a Fan of Knives, that would be awesome. But maybe you want to keep that Fan of Knives against that Forbidden Ritual, or can't you wait that long?
Yeah, normally you want to wait for that Forbidden Ritual, but if you're pretty far behind on board, sometimes you just have to play it right. What is mCon gonna do here? He can coin out the Tomb Pillager, cycle his coin. You cannot really combo the SI agent. What you can do is like a prep a Vis on the Direwolf Alpha, go for an SI agent on the 1-1, trade the other one with the weapon. But I think that's not a really optimal play. Just playing the Tomb Pillager is not that bad, right? You get your coin back from the Pillager.
Yeah, I'm not that experienced with Miracle Rogue. What I would be looking for right now is, oh, I need to deal with that Direwolf Alpha. I need to coin here. I need to SI7 agent instead of a Tomb Pillager, and then use the knife to.
Wow, he decides to go for SI agent, and then even Conceal to protect his SI agent. Yeah, he knows that Harman can have that abusive Sergeant in hand to deal with that SI agent really good. And if we see the hand of Harman, it's a really well played by mCon here, because Harman has a really awkward turn. Yeah, do you go for tentacles here? Forbidden Rituals, spawning the tentacles. Yeah, and you can get punished by Fan of Knives so hard if he goes for this play. But we see in the hand of mCon, he doesn't have it.
No, he doesn't have it, but he does have the Tomb Pillager. He has a sap as well, but yeah, the question is, what do you do here? Do you just knife up, but then you cannot do anything else, or do you just play the Tomb Pillager and...
I think you just develop a minion here.
Yeah.
Otherwise you cannot do anything else, and you trade away 1/1/1. Yeah, you can also decide to go face. Trading 1/1/1 doesn't matter that much though. You're already facing like 4 or 5, doesn't matter, and that Councilman is really huge. But we see the prep Shadow Strike in the hand of mCon, so that Councilman is not gonna live that long.
The question is Harman gonna trade? Yeah, he decides to go for a tentacle, and well, one tentacle is gonna go into the SI7 agent, the rest is gonna go to the face of mCon, and the pressure is on. Let's see what he can draw into. A Gasketson.
Oh, and there it is. There is the Gadgetson. I think you'll just go for the card draw with the Drake. Hopefully, you can draw into that Fan of Knives, so you can prep Fan, trade away the 1/3, release him up with only the Darkshire Councilman. Is he gonna pick it up? Is there that Fan of Knives? No, not yet for mCon. But he has to Shadow Strike that Councilman, or that card is getting out of hand really, really fast. Yeah, and it's gonna get a little bit scary for Harman now. Those 2 big minions on the board are pretty scary though. But there's the second Abuser Sergeant, and that deals so good with that Azure Drake.
Yeah, he, well, you can choose to give a tentacle more attack damage and go for the Tomb Pillager, but he might not want to give that coin to mCon.
No, you don't want to. I think you just armor up and just go full face.
Yeah, but it's smart to armor up the tentacles and not the Abuser Sergeant. So now that mCon cannot trade his Tomb Pillager into one of those tentacles, he cannot use it for, let's say, a Gasketson coin. Nope. and then a Conceal.
Yeah, mCon is just like, where is my Fan of Knives? I just need that card. I just need that Fan of Knives. If you had Fan of Knives, you had like a full board clear with that Blood Mage Stalnos. But he's now facing a board that he cannot deal with. And now he has to make suboptimal plays. Maybe even play Talno, Sap, Eviscerate? I don't know. It's looking really bad for him now. Can trade 1. Sap 1-1. Eviscerate the 2-3. Leave 4 damage on the board. But it looks so bad for mate. Is there a way he can come back from this? He just needs his Fan of Knives. That's the only way he can come back. Maybe he just uses Dagger to trade off the 2-1. Maybe that's even better. I think you want to say that Talno's... maybe for later on for the Fan of Knives.
Yeah, if you need it. So next turn you can draw with the Azure Drake. But let's see what Harmon draws into. It's a Dark Peddler, and that might find something.
That can find him a lethal chance. And there's the first power overwhelm. And he can tap into lethal here. PO Soulfire. And that's 4-8 is not gonna do it. Oh, he doesn't have the mana for it.
Is he gonna trade here?
You can, it's fine. You don't trade with that Possessed Village. You don't want to run in that Fan of Knives.
Ooh, there it is.
And can make that comeback now. And he can even go for Drake Coin Fan. But he's not going for it. Yeah, he wants to make a full board clear. Just to be safe for that power of woman. He know that Dark Peddler is played, so there's a big chance there's one.
Another Fan of Knives.
Oh, and is this the comeback Mate was looking for? This is looking really bad, especially with the Drake in hand. He can do a 3 damage Fan of Knives, and there's Soulfire.
Yeah, but then he has to keep a minion on the board.
Yeah, and if we look in the hand of Mate, he has the perfect answer for everything Harmon is gonna play in the next turns. That Drake Coin Fan of Knives for 3 damage is insane, and even getting an extra card, and also getting 10 burst.
And the Sap.
What a comeback.
So he's gonna go for the damage for the Cold Blood on the Blood Mage Talnos and gonna run into the face of Harmon.
Harmon is looking for his Leroy or Argent Horse Rider here. And still not doing it. Flame Imp is not the card you're looking for, especially when you're low on HP. But the Doom Guard! If he discards the Soulfire and the PO. No, he discards the Doom Guard! No!
Oh my god, Harmon
I think
went for it.
There was a 1 in 3, but if he went for the Doom Guard first, he had like a 2 in 3 chance of winning.
So yeah,
he should have went for the Doom Guard first.
So I'm just writing down a highlight here. Yeah, it's Made winning with his
what a comeback!
rogue. I didn't expect him to win, but if that Soulfire didn't remove that Doom Guard.
Yeah, but I think it was a horrible misplay by Harmon. If he went for the Doom Guard, he had like 2 chances. Or was it the same chance? He had like a 1 in 3 chance of discarding the...
Yeah, but if you go for the Doom Guard first, you discard 2 cards instead of 1.
Yeah, but you have to save 1. You could have get the PO and the Soulfire were both good to keep. But that's also a 1 in 3, right? That you lose it. Yeah, I think it was 100% the same. Sorry, Harmon. It was not a misplay. I thought it was. I thought you had a bigger chance of keeping 1 of the Soulfire and PO when you play the Doom Guard. But I think it's both 33%.
Yeah, but now the Rogue is gone and we see another match, and it's a Zoo versus Zoo matchup. And let's see if Harmon can win this one. He has a Councilman, Abusive Sergeant, and a Dark Peddler. Yeah. And well, the hand of Mate looks a little bit the same, but he has the coin here.
Yeah, we already see a really good start from Harmon. He can play that Abusive Sergeant, get that value trade on the Voidwalker. It's really important to get the board as fast as possible against Zoo. Normally this game gets decided in the first 5 turns. Who gets the board in the first 4 or 5 turns probably wins the game. There are not really big tempo swings in these decks. These decks are built on to get early on the board control and burst him down later on in the game. But that Mordecai is doing a lot, and you can even go for Voidwalker.
Yeah, so next turn he has a Direwolf and Abusive Sergeant and even the Argent Horse Rider to decide to go for. But Harmon decides to go for his Darkshire. Councilman has no Forbidden Ritual to follow that one up. But yeah, this is going to be a trade here. The question is, how is a trade going to take place? Is it Direwolf
Yeah, I can go for a Councilman coin, abusive, clear off the Voidwalker. The Voidwalker will also protect one attack from the Darkshire Councilman, and then his Councilman will probably kill off the Councilman of Harmon. Ooh, but Night Juggler can do a lot here. Night Juggler into Peddler. Maybe even sniping off. He has to attack the Voidwalker first, so his sniping chances are a little bit higher. Yeah, and he decides to do the same. Going for Peddler here. 1 in 3 chance of sniping off that abusive, and
he finds another abusive.
yeah, really important. You want that buff cards, you want to get value trades on the opponent's minions and get the board. That's the only way how you're gonna win this. Keep clearing everything, get value out of your small minions, buffing them up with abusive sergeant, buffing them up with power overwhelming.
He's out of mana, right? So he cannot play that abusive sergeant right now. But if he could, he might have even traded fully here.
Yeah. But it's not gonna happen. He's out of mana. Next turn, probably Doomguard is coming out. He's going for the boar. Oh, and the snipe hits face. Yeah, that's awful for him. Now we're gonna see the same. The Knife Juggler into the Direwolf, but maybe even go for Argent Horse Rider. But then he cannot clear the Councilman, and that's pretty unfortunate. He has to play 2 minions to buff that Councilman to 4 attack. What he can do is maybe even go for trade with the abusive on the Knife Juggler. Go for Knife Juggler, Direwolf. We'll probably leave up the Peddler there.
Yeah.
You can also go for maybe the Defender of Argus, trade into the Councilman and trade the Knife Juggler away. Leaves you up with an Argus, but I think you can get more value out of the Argus though. And getting a Knife Juggler on the board is also pretty good because the opponent has to clear that Knife Juggler.
Yeah, so Knife Juggler and Direwolf Alpha seems to be the way to go here, and May decides to do. Let's see where the knife lands. The knife goes to the face. And the Councilman takes care of the Councilman, and the Abusive Sergeant of the Knife Juggler. And now it's time for Harmon to try and take back this board.
Yeah, he has to go for Doomguard here. He's losing his entire hand though, but he has to go for it. He has to clear that Knife Juggler, and he has to clear that Councilman, or those cards are getting out of hand really, really fast.
So do you play the Argent Squire first here, or are you just seeing what you...
You can't. You have 5 mana, so you can only play the Doomguard here.
Oh yeah.
You don't have enough mana for that. No problem, no problem.
Learn to count. Step 1 of learning Hearthstone. Alright, so yeah, Doomguard coming down. I'm gonna remove that Knife Juggler, and yeah, you lose a little bit of your hand, but you have that hero power, that life tap, to make sure that you can get back into the game, and he loses his...
And this is a pretty awkward turn for a mate. He can go for Argent Horse Rider trade, but he cannot kill it. He already has to trade his Direwolf too. But I think you have to go for it. But he's losing his board. He could have made a tempo swing here if he got a 2-drop here, but it's not happening. Abusive Sergeant would be insanely strong there, but he didn't get it.
Ooh, and another Direwolf Alpha. That's also just not it.
No, but for next turn it's pretty good. Next turn you have the 2-drop and the Argus for on turn 6. So you can taunt up the Horse Rider and buff it with Direwolf and Argus. But do you even clear here? Or do you just go face and force Harmon to make that trade? He doesn't take the risk here. On an awful draw for Harmon. The power overwhelm, you don't look... Is he going for Argent Squire? I think you just play your 4-4 here. You want to play your strongest minion here. But he decides differently. Yeah, that Argent Squire is dealing with that Horse Rider pretty good, but you know that Warlock has so many buffs. Ooh, and even the Knife Juggler.
Wow. Yeah, that can be pretty dire with the Knife Juggler into Direwolf and maybe tap, but it is a risk.
You can go for Knife Juggler, Defender of Argus, have a 50-50 on the Divine Shield, buff the Horse Rider and get a full board clear and leave every minion up. And he didn't get it, but I still think you have to clear the Divine Shield.
Yeah, because now with the Dark Iron Dwarf, it can trade with the Knife Juggler, yeah?
Ooh, and there's the Doomguard for next turn. But he's losing his entire hand again when he plays that Doomguard, and you see that power overwhelm to do. Oh, and there's the Forbidden Rituals. And I think that seals the game here. There's no way a Zulok can deal with all that pressure from a Forbidden Ritual.
Great Alchemist being drawn. We see the Direwolf Alpha making sure that the Horse Rider can trade with that the Dark Iron Dwarf and a full board clear and tentacles on the board. So yeah.
Looking really good for mate here. And Harman, he doesn't have a proper play here. Yeah, he can go for Doom Argent Squire Doomguard into tap, clear off the Direwolf. But then mate can just keep going, filling up his board with minions, clear that Doomguard with the PO. And Harman is also getting pretty low on HP. Oh, and he can even go with Argent Squire, Flame Imp, Defender. Looks also pretty good, putting 3 minions on the board. But the problem is, leaving up the Direwolves gives mate so many good trades with that icky Tentacles.
Yeah, and even finds a Doomguard here.
Can play his entire hand, and no discards from the Doomguard.
So,
ooh, not swapping around his Defender of Argus.
he's just gonna fully trade the board here, keep up the Wolf, and just a little bit of damage. He can go for that Power Overwhelming and the Doomguard, and give the Doomguard a little bit of extra damage, but it's just not yet lethal.
Not yet. Not yet. But we see in the hand of Harman, he has no way of dealing with that. It looks like you can buff your Doomguard here, but yeah, you win this one. Yeah, Harman decides to concede here, and that makes it 2-0 already for mCon.maDe. He only has to win one more game to seal it, and the only deck he has left is that Paladin. But Harman's lineup looks pretty good against that Paladin. The Hunter and the Zoo are pretty good against it, but that Warrior is going to be really difficult to win against Paladin. Paladin is normally pretty much a free win against that Warrior, so we will
Even
see.
if it's a Pirate Warrior?
Even if it's a Pirate Warrior. You have the Doomsayers, you have the Heals, you have the Towns. We will see.
Well, it depends also on the tech cards he put into that Paladin, of course, but I believe that Paladin is there to counter the Warrior. And
Definitely.
So yeah, there is going to be some cards, Doomsayers indeed, and a lot of board clears to make sure that the tempo will not be there. But let's head into the mulligan of maybe the final game of this matchup.
It's also really important to understand how lineups works. Harman should have known that the Paladin was really good against Warrior. So what you want to do as Harman is play your Warrior as first. You want to get that win with Warrior first. So that Warrior is out, so mate cannot queue the Paladin into the Warrior anymore. So that's also a thing you have to keep in mind when you make a lineup and what you want to start first with.
Alright, but now it's the Hunter versus the Paladin. And,
Yes.
there is no turn 1 a drop, but potentially he can play that Carrion Grab into...
I hope mate knows how to play. Now, we practiced this match for 20 games today or something, and I think he lost 19 of it.
So yeah, it's pretty hard. The pressure of the Hunter is immense, and if there's a Call of the Wild and you clear it, and you're like, oh, I cleared it, then
The second one is coming out, definitely.
Yeah. We see there is no board clear yet for...
We have the Pyromancer and the Consecration. We have the True Silver to clear off the drop. It's always important to clear off that, because on turn 4 probably the Houndmaster is coming out. And now you deny that. And there's no turn 4 play for Harman. He has the Toad Hero Power, but it's pretty weak. He's just giving it to the True Silver Champion. And
wow. Yeah, on curve there, the Infested Tauren.
We see the Kodo in the hand of Harman here.
And yeah, he keeps the True Silver Champion. He
really well played.
Yeah, just have to use it here right now.
Nope.
So
even when the Kodo is coming out, that 2/2 slime coming out of the Infested Tower is still dealing with that huge toad. So you don't have to waste your weapon charge. That weapon charge is really important to clear something off.
You can also, instead of the Kodo, go for Quick Shot Animal Companion, but it feels a little bit weak.
I don't really want to. You just want to have that Kodo value. There are not a lot of minions in the deck of mate that can that have 2 attack or less. And now it's turn 5, pretty awkward. You can have a pretty good consecration here though. Can attack the Kodo, play Consec, keep board control, and even if Harman goes for that Savannah High Main on turn 6, he doesn't have it of course, but Made is thinking about that. He has the perfect answer with that Alder Peacekeeper.
Yeah, and he goes indeed for the concentration and for the face, so the first 4 damage is on the face of the Hunter, and the Slime receives the Slime shot. So
there's another Kodo. But is he going for it? He's going for the Tundra Rhino and forces Made to clear that. But no, he still decides to go for the Kodo. Another value for the Kodo. And now Made has a really good turn with that Sylvanas. Deals with the Kodo, but also pressures Harman that he cannot play one of his big minions that can be stolen by the Sylvanas.
So yeah, Sylvanas gets slammed down on the board here, and yeah, how do you trade with that? You can use your Eagle Horn bow or one of those quick shots.
Yeah, what is he gonna do? Yeah, he's probably gonna quick shot Animal Companion. But quick shot was actually a pretty good draw there by Harman. Otherwise, he had no way of. Oh, he already had another quick shot. Never mind.
Yeah, he had a quick shot. Yeah, you can go Animal Companion, and we know it's Harman, so Huffer.
Probably Huffer coming. Oh no, he's going for Tundra Rhino. Also a pretty good one, playing on curve, and it's also a huge threat on the board because you have to clear that, especially on turn 7, man. When the pressure of turn 8 Call of the Wild is coming out, and there is the True Silver champion. But is he gonna decide to go for True Silver Consecration?
He cannot. He has not enough mana. Counting the #1 thing in Hearthstone.
Yeah. It's really difficult to count. Yeah, so. Made is playing the Chilma here, and the fun thing is the Chilma is played just because it's a death rattle, not because the effect, but it always says to your opponent, "Watch out, we maybe have 3 damage here." Ooh, and that always Hover from Harman. We know that. He's famous about his hovers rolls. And now he has a board clear, Mate. He can go for the True Silver Consecration turn again. I think he was pretty happy to see the hover, because the Misha would have got charged anyway. But now he has a good Consecration. And Mate's still looking for his heals, the Forbidden Healings, the Ragnarok's Light Lord. Still not in the hand of Mate, but...
Harman is looking for the Call of the Wild, and is he drawing it? That is the question.
But he can keep pressuring him, dealing 5 damage here. Maybe even go for Doomsayer, just to deny Mate from developing something.
Yeah, there's
and there it is.
Wow, Forbidden Healing, just in time.
Exactly the card Mate was looking for, and now he can stabilize on the board. But maybe he can even decide to develop something with that, with the Aldor, going for Aldor, then heal for 12. And also develop a minion, but you can also just trade away, take 2 damage from the Toad, and then heal for 18. He knows Harman doesn't have that Call of the Wild, so...
Yeah, but if he does, that Forbidden Healing was a little bit useless.
Yeah, there are still 2 equalities in the deck of Mate that can be comboed with the Wild Pyromancer. 18 heal from 1 card. Not the card Harman was looking for. He's looking for that Call of the Wild to close the game. But that heal gave Mate some extra time to get out his big minions. And there's even the 3rd board clear already. And now he can go for developing the Cairn and the Aldor. And now it's time for the Paladin.
Yeah, now the Paladin can get into this game and can take control. But with that kill command...
just 1 turn late that kill command. If he had it a little bit earlier, maybe could have gone for a lethal a bit earlier. Now it's coming a little bit late, yeah. I don't know.
So do you go for face here, or do you go for the Doomsayer trade on the Cairn?
You already saw 1 Forbidden Healing, and it was a top deck. So there's a big chance Mate doesn't have it in hand, another heal. So maybe Harman decides to just go Doomsayer, kill command the face, quick shot for an extra card draw. I think you just go for it. This is the only way you're gonna win, and you get. This is the chance you get an extra draw from the quick shot. Another Infested Wolf not doing it here.
But that Infested Wolf would have been drawn otherwise the next turn, so he digs deeper into his deck, hopefully finds that Call of the Wild, and he has 15 cards left. So, yeah, decent chance to draw it next turn.
It's a really difficult turn here. I think mate has to Pyro attack the Infested Wolf, Pyro equality the board, gets a new 4/5 from the Cairn, then draw a lot of cards because you get free cards. But you have to find that second heal, or this game can still go in favor of Harman. There's still 2 Call of the Wilds in the deck of Harman. I think at least he's playing 2 though. Oh, that's also well played by mate. He has a full board clear and still has 4 minions on the board. Thus he found that heal. Still no heal for mate here.
Yeah, Call of the Wild is gonna do it.
Ooh, still not called. Is there another Huffer? Always Huffer here.
Harman goes for Huffer.
And now, mate has to find that heal or he will lose this game.
So no taunt is gonna save him, and Ragnaros Lightlord is not gonna save him, and the Zod is not gonna save him. So he might be able to draw with the Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah, he has one more draw for that Forbidden Healing. It's a 1 in 12 chance he's gonna get it. Is he gonna get that Forbidden Healing? Such an important turn here for mate. Is he gonna get that Forbidden Healing? Is it going his side?
Nope, it's Tyrion.
It's Tyrion not gonna do it. Too bad. Harman's still taking this game. Wow.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Harman gets on the board here with this warrior, and it's good to see that we have a little bit of competition going on, because all those trios are not the things that I want to see.
No, it's going.
Yeah, you said now you have to face the Paladin with your warrior, but you probably just want to go with the Warlock right now, just to get another win, right?
Yeah, you just want to have that moral boost. And also, I heard that when the tiebreakers come out, the 1 matches also count, right? Did you already?
I'm still have no final confirmation on that, if it's going to be the matches between the players or the win-loss ratio. So they're
okay.
And if I have to still figure that out before I can say anything officially about that. So we're on to that. So let's get into the next game. And
it's also a moral thing, right? You just want to have that wins, tilting mate a little bit, and get yourself a moral boost. It always helps when you're comfortable and not tilting.
Well, it looks pretty okay here. The hand for Harman finds a Dark Peddler, Argent Squire.
Just keep everything. Really good hand from Harman. He can Argent Squire, Coin Imp Gang Balls, Darkshire Councilman into Peddler. Insane hand of Harman. And we see mate with that Doomsayer, and that will deny Harman so hard. And the Consecration and the True Silver Champion.
So yeah, a lot of removal here for mate to work with, but we know that the Zoo can keep pumping out those minions, even though that you try to board clear a lot. So yeah, this probably gonna be a tap.
Yeah, he has to tap now. But the problem with this is Harman had such a good curve, and now he's losing like 2 turns. He lost his 1-drop, and he couldn't play anything on turn 2. He wanted to play the 3-drop to get a tempo swing, but now mate can play his Acolyte, and when Harman goes for the Councilman or the Imp Gang Boss here, mate has such an easy way of dealing with that with the True Silver, and he gets even an insane draw with the Acolyte on the 1/1 that's coming out of the Imp Gang Boss.
Yeah, and he found both of his Forbidden Healing, so he can stay in the game pretty long.
Yes.
But you never know, the other draws can be not as good as these are, so you can have a good start. But that Acolyte helps. Tyrion Fordring is definitely going to help, just like the Infested Tauren. So yeah, the taunts are already there. We only are missing Chilma here.
And he's going for that Councilman into Coin. Into Peddler, yeah. Yeah, and mate has... Whoa, that was a quick pick by Harman.
I couldn't even switch the screen, so... that first Councilman getting eaten up by the True Silver and the Acolyte of Pain, and he draws his second Solemn Vigil here. Can draw for free.
I think you just go for the oh, he goes for the draw here instead of going for the taunt.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
not
he wants
enough.
the card draw. I think he's looking for always board clears. He has one consecration though. But that consecration is getting a lot of value though. If he goes for double Knife Juggler abusive, I think that's too greedy. I think you go for a tap here. Or is he going for a second abusive? No, right? That's way too greedy.
Alright, so yeah, he has to be scared of that consecration coming down, and it's in the hand now of mCon.maDe being played here, and the whole board gets cleared again, and that's the fate of your deck and your minions if you play against the Zod Paladin. It can clear the board so good and deny you tempo.
And there's the second true silver of mCon.maDe. That's really good. We see the Dark Iron Draw, but we see it taunted up Knife Juggler. Yeah, and that true silver is just destroying that. And in combination with the Alder Peacekeeper, he can even develop a minion that can contest that the Defender of Argus.
Yes, so hitting the Knife Juggler, and yeah, he was also looking for that Elder Peacekeeper here to indeed contest that, but there is a Dark Iron Dwarf and an Abusive Sergeant in the hand of Harman.
He decides to go for the Silver Hand Recruit, but we see next turn the Tyrion coming out. And that's gonna do a lot of work for mCon.maDe. That's gonna stall a lot of turns.
But he is already on 16 health.
Yeah, he's going pretty low, and we see the double PO and abusive in hand of Harman. A lot of burst. He's not already lethal, even when he plays the Tyrion, though. I don't think so, right?
So,
not yet. I think you just clear off the Dark Iron Door. I don't really know why he would play the Silverhand Recruit instead of the... I don't really like it. If he went for the Aldor last turn instead of the 1-1, he could have contested the board so much easier. And now his turn was so awkward. And this is lethal for Harman.
Let's see, he draws into the Councilman. Can he find anything else?
We have to count this. It's 2,
12, 14, plus 13, 14. Ah.
Yeah, it's 14 damage.
It's 2 off. Right?
2 off lethal, yeah.
So the humility saving the face of mCon.maDe here in this game.
Yeah, now probably the Tyrion into Forbidden Healing is coming out, and then mCon.maDe can maybe swing this game around. He's still looking for his Pyromancer or his second Consecration to clear up the board. If he finds a board clear, those Power Overwhelmings are not doing a lot here. What is mCon.maDe gonna do this turn? And Harman is still there like, no, I have so many bursts in hand and I can just not play it.
So is he gonna trade here?
Yeah, you just trade.
No, he's gonna go face. So equality, wow, but 2 equalities, just equalities. No consecrations, no pyromancers.
Nope.
So yeah, Tyrion looks interesting here.
Yeah, mCon.maDe can just trade away almost everything. Oh, he's going for equality here.
So now he cannot clear everything, right? He's gonna leave up that Abusive Sergeant.
But he's going for a heal. He saw those 3 cards in Harman's hand untouched for like 5 or 6 turns. So mCon.maDe knows there's a lot of burst in the hand of Harman. I'm really scared of the triple PO. I'm playing around it every single turn. Ooh, and there's the Forbidden Rituals. And he knows that mCon.maDe doesn't have the board clear here. And there's the Consecration.
Wow, just the top deck that mCon.maDe needs. Clears the whole board, slams down the Sylvanas. And yeah, that might seal the game here for mCon.maDe. What a top
Definitely.
deck.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he had like three cards that could save him, so it was like a 1 in 4 chance. And now he has to play that Doom Guard. And
wow, loses the Soulfire, but keeps the 2 Power Overwhelmings.
yeah, he's going for it. This is a concede play, yeah, and that's a 3-1 for mCon.maDe. What a close game in the end. That Consecration definitely sealing the game there, and I was so close of winning with that double PO Soulfire in hand. Wow, what a game.